every year I see that my introduction becomes richer. It- and many things I discover through these introductions. So it's always a pleasure to be here at this workshop. And some of you, I think, I'm meeting for the first time. Uh, and every time I'm here, I'm amazed at the kind of work that is being done in Triple IT Delhi, steered by one person. And now I think he has a lot of people around him in India and abroad, in this uh, entire endeavor, which is somewhat unusual, making food computed. And every time I come here, I'm also intrigued that, all right, he's doing wonderful work and he gets chefs and he has very good relationship with chefs. And I missed out that special dish that took is that it was finished before I could get a taste of that. So it is getting into practical reality. But coming from public health nutrition background, I've always tried to push him in that direction a little bit. Making food tasty, flavorful is important because our food choices largely depend on that whether the food is tasty. And of course, convenience is the next factor. Nutrition comes, I think, way below. But given that it is becoming abundantly clear that a large part of issues that we face with our health during our lifetime, they originate from our poor dietary choices, and now also realize that they're intertwined with food, poor lifestyle choices that we have, and the two cannot be separated. So, how do we, mm, use the advances under computational gastronomy to really create a scalable solution that can address some of these challenges that the nation faces? That is what I'm going to talk about. And in this context, I think a lot can be said, but I'll confine myself to another, I would say a scientist that worked in FSSAI. In fact, I had hired him. And he works in the area of diagnostics, high-end diagnostics. So he's currently moved on from FSSAI to NIFTEM. His name is Dr. Dinesh. And his expertise lies in developing. Incidentally, he used to work also through IT Delhi earlier. He did it was, were you the guy? In the Okay, okay. So fantastic guy, great guy. So I think, uh, see, if I were to say that, uh, how how do I see this entire area unfolding, or this entire development unfolding, I would like to see it, or all of us can summarize it in four parts. Science becomes a tool in the hand of common man rather than remaining in the laboratories. I think that is all uh, of us would like that to happen. Food safety adulteration, and there are a lot of concerns about it. It should become visible, measurable, and trustworthy, even in the informal sector. And India's food safety ecosystem was unique because, unlike food safety of food systems around the world, where maybe a handful of retail chains and their supply chains take care of the entire or almost the entire food supplies in that country. I believe in Australia there are 8, in New Zealand there are 4, and UK may be having maybe 12. So I think there's a handful of big retailers who supply food to almost the entire population. There are still some grocery shops here and there, but this is what is the situation. In India, it is this the way, just the other way, In India, everyone, almost everyone, even if we go to Reliance Retail or the basket, now increasingly to commerce, it's still going to get a lot of farmers coming from neighborhood vendors, from neighborhood shops, etc., etc. So I think, therefore, food safety becomes a little more challenging, man. The supply chains are very fragmented. So food safety has to become visible. It has to be measurable, trustworthy, and even in the informal sector. Third is healthy and authentic foods reach every household, supported by easy to use technologies. Fourth is evidence drives program design, monitoring, and evaluation at scale, and it is not narratives. Sometimes those narratives are created in countries which are nothing like India. A few days ago, Lancet released a series of reports on obesity in the world in cross-country comparisons. And the narrative is very simple. The narrative is that obesity is increasing because dominance of ultra-processed foods in the markets. And then they drew comparison that countries that have highest dominance of ultra-processed foods, they are also the obese nations. That is a very simplistic way of looking at it. But if you pick it a little deeper, and of course in India, that narrative then goes down to that, all right, FOPL is the solution to that, front of pack labeling is the solution to that, and government or FSSAI, my former organization, should come out with FOPL and all the problems will be addressed. A very simple narrative. I don't know. If you dig a little deeper into the whole data, you will find out the countries that have very high levels of dominance of, ultra-processed foods, they're not obese. Japan is an example. Their dominance of ultra-processed foods is as much as in US, but people don't buy it. They may be there, and since they don't buy it, so they're not making huge profits there. There's still a huge tradition to go for local traditional Japanese cuisine in those countries. So I think it is a little more than it. So when I'm making a point on this, of course, this is not the topic of our discussion here, that this is narrative based and not evidence based. There's no evidence around it. You just create a narrative and they start walking on that path and they spend, we started a debate on FOPL in 2016. One of the first things that I did, and it is 2026 now, almost 10 years, you have not reached a conclusion. There's still a big discussion debated, so I don't know how long it will take to do that. But that narrative itself, we may find, was a wrong narrative. There is something else. So I'm writing on this. You will see it in newspapers, TVs later on that narrative. So here I'm coming back to the subject that computational gastronomy, mapping of ingredients, flavors, molecular profiles, amazed by the kind of, I quickly went through all the posters. Some of them I have seen before, some are new, using AI to redesign recipes for better health, taste, and bioavailability, predicting diet disease patterns using large data systems. I think there are many, many interesting work that was by under this initiative by Bakarski. Similarly, Dr. Dinesh and people like him across America are working on Danish gas record. And I think all of us realize it that there is huge there are lots of advances taking place in high-end diagnostics today's, using for contaminants, harpies, drug residues, microbes, nanoplastics. So a lot of stuff is happening in that space. And if the two technologies can be combined, we can create a positive feedback loop to address some of the public health challenges that we face. That is, and those examples could be smarter and healthier recipes for India. AI identifies ingredient combinations that reduce salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. Biosensors validate nutrient retention and contamination. Applications in midday meal schemes, Anganwadis, and self-help kitchens, and restaurants help that to translate into action. So this is a possibility, and some work is being done, I believe, by Dr. Bagler and his collaborators. But I hope that it is scaled up in coming years. Authenticity, and adulteration. I think huge concern, at least perceived concern. No one believes, and that was my biggest regret, that despite FSSAI being there, people felt कि नहीं FSSAI तो है, लेकिन हम ये खाना जो है इसको बिलीव नहीं कर सकते. पहले FSSAI से ज़्यादा ब्रांड्स का होता था कि नेस्ले का कुछ प्रोडक्ट है तो वो उसमें इशू नहीं होगा. और जो मैगी का कंट्रोवर्सी हुआ 2015 में, उससे वो डिमोलिश हो गया. सो व्हेन दे से कि इवन नेस्ले कैन गो रॉन्ग, ए स्विस कंपनी कैन गो रॉन्ग, तो अब तो किसी को विश्वास नहीं कर सकते. और अब इन्फ्लुएंसर्स आ गए हैं. इन्फ्लुएंसर्स तो बड़ी कंपनी के पीछे पड़े रहते हैं. अच्छा, मतलब some of them are right, they are good friends also, many of them, but most of their posts are against the big businesses because that is what gets them more followers. So I think the belief of the masses in the food you get from the market is very low. And if Professor Bagler comes, something could be done about it. Computational models to define molecular signatures for spices, ghee, oils, tea, etc. So, and then we could compare it with the authentic signatures. Handheld kits instantly verifying authenticity. And some of this work has been done by Dr. Dinesh Listi, and I'm sure many others are doing it. Today, we started approving rapid testing kits in FSSCI in 2017. And today, there are 80 such kits available on the market. The users are still, I would say, not great so far. Same thing is even more important for informal markets. And my current organization thought that we need to address some of these issues. One day I went to Anupam, that market mall area where I stay in Saket, and there are some 20 vendors. And I started looking at them very carefully. वो क्या बेच रहे हैं, उसमें फूड सेफ्टी कंसर्न कहाँ आ सकते हैं. तो एक जो क्या होता है पोटैटो का क्या पोटैटो, व्हाट इज दैट, चिली पोटैटो वाज कंप्लीटली मतलब रेड. मैं कहा इसमें मिर्चा ज़्यादा डालती है. बट वो कलर था. जो उससे मैंने गलती से पूछ लिया भी इस पर कलर यूज़ कर रहे हो. हाँ सर, कोई खाता नहीं है अगर कलर नहीं हो उसमें. मैंने फिर नेक्स्ट इंकरेज करके थोड़ा सा नेक्स्ट सवाल उसके पूछा कि खाने का कलर है क्या, ये कौन सा कलर डाल रहे हैं, आप कौन तेरे पूछने वाले हैं. So the point is that I couldn't say कि मैं CEO FSSAI था, मतलब उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उनको. But the point is that people who are buying it, they don't have a clue either that color may not be healthy. And जो बेच रहा है उसको तो बिल्कुल क्लू नहीं है वो कौन सा कलर यूज कर रहा है और किस लिए यूज कर रहा है. उसको तो केवल अपने यहाँ जो बेच रहा है वो बिकना चाहिए और खूब रैपिड सेल होनी चाहिए. आई थिंक दिस इशू इज इवन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट for small vendors if we can find some ways of doing it. And then we started creating an ecosystem where we can give them a food safety seat. This is a voluntary thing. And this is work in progress. 2 महीना पहले हमने शुरू किया था with lot of fanfare कि इसको हम कुछ दिल्ली के मार्केट में शुरू करेंगे, बाकी जगह शुरू करेंगे. A voluntary initiative, nothing to do with the regulator. And the vendors themselves come forward to us, say कि हम सब कुछ ठीक यूज करेंगे, आप हमें सील दे दीजिए. Our expectation was कि कंज्यूमर जब वो सील देखेगा तो उस वेंडर के पास जाकर वहां से लेगा, तो उसका इंसेंटिव बिल्ड हो रहा है. So I think this is work in progress. As we are moving forward, we are finding a lot of challenges in it. और जो चीज मिलाते हैं, FSSAI ने जो रैपिड टेस्टिंग किट्स इजाद किए थे, वो उससे ज्यादा उससे मेल नहीं खाते हैं. वो कुछ और है, ये कुछ और है, यहाँ पर इशू कुछ और है, वहाँ पर अपने कुछ और दिया हुआ है. पर जब मंत्री जी ने एक मीटिंग किया वेंडर्स के साथ में, उनको किट भी दिया था. तो किट जो है कहीं यूज नहीं हुआ कि वो उनका प्रॉब्लम भी एड्रेस नहीं कर रहा था. So there are other issues as we are going deeper into some of these things. But, some equipment that can rapidly and quickly find out the authenticity of that food is important. Then there is another area of functional foods and fortification bioavailability, positive side of it. वहाँ पर क्या bioavailability है? The biggest challenge, we started something called as rice fortification at scale or food fortification, आपने नाम सुना होगा. तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये आ रहा है कि वो कितना बायो अवेलेबल है और वो हम ठीक से कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. द गवर्नमेंट इज स्पेंडिंग 17,000 करोड़ ऑन दैट इनिशिएटिव एंड वी हैड नॉट मच ऑफ ए क्लू. और अभी 4 साल हो गए हैं उस स्कीम को इम्प्लीमेंट होते हुए, तो अभी बहुत सॉलिड एविडेंस नहीं आया है कि उसमें एनीमिया कम हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. सो आई एम श्योर दैट देयर आर लाइक दिस many other possibilities of using the new science that is being developed and new technologies that are being developed to solve some of these current issues and emerging issues in food systems. And the logic is very simple: data, prediction, testing, and action. Okay, so I do hope that this group of people begins to move in that direction, or they're already in the same direction, but accelerates action in that direction. And we can really see some change on the ground as we move forward. So I think I'm so grateful, Professor Badler, to, invite me year after year and give you some jnana of these things. But I come not to give you any gyan, because I know that is not needed. I come out of admiration for the effort that is, so thank you very much.